Hello and welcome everyone. This is Race on Us. It's Monday night. It's the PC League. Hope you're all doing well. We're getting set to traverse the final three rounds, the final third of the season. We've had 6 rounds of the 9 rounds scheduled. So looking forward to finishing off this season strong. So as you can see, last time out a couple of weeks ago in Donington, what an absolute epic race, absolute cracker. It was Benjamin Hignett who took that. My notes, the top of my notes was epic race. James Pierre-Reid had a little bit of bad luck in that one. He qualified pole, and he ended up starting from the pits. There was a bit of a drama with him. Let's go into previous winners. So it was Hignett who took the win, started in P3. Mitch Hayes, he went no tyre stop, so as did Benjamin Hignett. So that was the difference in the end. Max got P3. Felt for Vinny, who no tyre stopped as well. I can't remember, where did he finish, Vinny Kinero? I think he finished 4th, so just outside of the podium. Paul Russell didn't have a great day, and Benjamin Hignett said he had 1.5 millimetres of tyre left. He finally broke his streak though. He had 5 third places in a row, so he finally got higher than third, and what a cracking way to do it. And then I wrote down right at the end, respect, the word respect. And there was a lot of respectful racing that was done between Hignett and Terry Rayton, who was second on the night. He's gone off travelling as well, so we'll no longer see him for the rest of the season. But I thought it was fantastic and sort of epitomised everything that is Roo. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's 100-minute racing, fast forwarded obviously, but what a cracker. So Wally Masterson, he took out the AM class victory there. So he started 13th, that's where he finished in 13th, but most importantly he finished on top in the AM class. So the standings as they stand right now is Benjamin Hignett leading the way, 406 points. He's just ahead of Jack Steele, who is sitting there on 402.8 points. Max Rickett in the Ferrari, he's sitting third on 399. As mentioned, Terry Rayton, we'll no longer see him for the rest of the season. He's gone off travelling, so safe travels to Terry Rayton. Aaron Parker having a good season, sitting there in 5th. Last race out, 10th was his worst finishing spot for the season, so we'll see if he can rectify that. 297 is Vinny Kinero, sitting in 6th position, as mentioned, 4th last race. Felt bad for him with the no tyre stop. Paul Russell, had a dirty day. His second 12th position finish for the season so far on 249 points. Matt Frost on 208. He finished 8th position last time out. He's sitting in 8th on 208 points. There you go. That's an 8th. It's lucky in some cultures. James Mack sitting there in 9th, 199.4. And Andrew Lawrenson, 190 down there in 10th position. Silver class, Paul Russell, he has won 3 of the class victories so far this season. He sits on top, 41 points ahead of Matt Frost, who's the other race class winner. James McCauley in 3rd, Robin Herbert in 4th, having a good season. Mitch Hayes, so he's had 2 of the class victories this season as well. Chris Hildebrandt in 7th, 8th is Mark Hurley, 9th is Matt Gillivray. Neil Fakeney having an un-Neil Fakeney-like season. He's had a couple of disconnects and some DNFs as well recently. I think he was feeling ill in one of them. So he's way down there. Nando Latenzio and Christopher Butt in 12th. For AM, it's James Bridgens leading the way, 3 class victories. Rod Taylor, he's on 1 class victory, so is Wally Masterson. So it's still pretty tight there. For the AM class, John Hedges in 4th, Zach Jensen in 5th. Driver ballast, so Benjamin Hignett has the most, 21 kilos, 16 to Steele, 14 to Rayton, 13 to Ricker, then it's 10 to Parker, 6 to Russell, 4 to Lawrenson and Hayes, and 2 to Matt Frost. And Mark Hurley has joined the penalty points there with Robin Herbert. 20 points. Wow, what did that come from? Anyway, James Mack and Mark Hurley. Let's have a quick look at the circuit. So it's one that needs no introduction. It's the mighty Suzuka. What an epic track this is. This is definitely on the bucket list. Have to get out to this circuit one day. It's a cracker. Up through the S curves there, or the Senna S's, or the Michael Schumacher S's, whatever you want to call it. Degner 1 and Degner 2 up through the hairpin, out of Spoon, along the back straight with a big bend in at the 130R into the Casio Triangle, and that will be the lap as everyone's out on circuit. A pretty low turnout tonight, so only 14, which is the lowest turnout for the season, so not too sure why numbers so low, because we've had pretty good turnouts the previous races, so maybe it's just that stage of the season where people lose a bit of interest perhaps, not sure. But anyway, we've got Steele out on track at the moment. Aaron Parker has joined him as well. There's Chris Hildebrandt, Matt Frost is with him there as well. There is Mitch Hayes in the McLaren. That is not James Pierre-Reid. There's James Pierre-Reid. There he is. In the Lamborghini. That's going quite well there. Neil Fakeney is out there. Max Ricker is also out there. So it's 7:01 in-game time. Truck's at 26 degrees. It's fast. Not optimum. 25 degrees air temperature. Will we get some rain? There's been some rain in the server in practice. I'm not going to hold my breath because we did this. Where did we do this? There was a race where we were supposed to bucket down and it didn't. I think it was Kyalami. So it never eventuated. But anyway, let's go on board for a lap. This one's rather moody. I like it though. I'm digging the start time. As he goes through turn 1, turn 2. The car goes nice and wide, beautiful. A fair bit of the inside curve up through the Senna S's. Go down into second gear. No, he doesn't. And then he comes to the left-hander, which is Spoon. So turn 7 just goes forever and ever and ever. And then all of a sudden, it's Degner 1, fast right-hander, taking plenty of the inside curve. Then it's Degner 2, take plenty of the inside curve too as well. Under the bridge, standing track with a figure 8 configuration that's extremely unique. Into the hairpin. It is one of the most reproduced circuits in video game history. So it goes back a long, long way to this track, and its heritage in online racing games. So very, very famous circuit, both historically and in a gaming sense. Now through the long left-hander that is Spoon curve, you want to get this right. Going to have a fair bit of throttle patience through here, which Jack Steele does. And it's foot to the floor, and then you're heading up the back straight. Getting set for the 130R, named after the degree of the angle of the corner. Was once a very formidable corner, but now much more safer. Still, you need full commitment going through there. And you make your way through the Casio Triangle. You've got the beautiful Ferris wheel in the background there. A little bit of a bump there on the exit, but shouldn't have upset the car too much. And Jack Steele comes along. And I think he's invalidated his lap somewhere. No, it was a 1:59.875. There you go. So Mark Hurley will be next across the line. Before that, though, there will be Hidnet. Then Ricker will make his way across. It's a long way down to get to the line. So Ricker goes second fastest. Mark Hurley puts the time on the board. Now here's James Pierre-Reid. Let's see what he can do. So 1:59.875, 2 minute 3 is James Pierre Reid. So as mentioned, last race out, put it on pole position, but unfortunately had some technical difficulties, had to start from the pit lane. And he came back though. Pierre Reid, where did he finish? I'm not too sure. I think outside the top 10. But anyway, here's Neil Fakeney. He's on a hot lap now. So just about everyone's put in a time. We've got 4 other cars, Hay, McGillivray, Masterson and Herbert. There's Fakeney way towards the line. Good enough for P10. So he's still making his way out of Spoon Curve. Down the long back straight. Yeah, I like the sky looks kind of moody, but there doesn't look like there's any weather about. Looks like we're going to get a nice dry qualifying. Steele hard on the brakes into the final couple of corners of the lap. He's down on his best time at the moment. No, he's up, sorry. He's up. He's up by 1/10.5, almost 2/10. He's going to hit the line, and he goes 1.5 tenths faster. So Jack Steele, faster than a speeding bullet at the moment, is Matt Frost. He was up on his best time, good enough for P6 still at the moment. Just been relegated down to P7. Here's Mark Hurley. What can he do in the Ferrari? He moves up into P9. Here's Herbert. So one of 2 cars that haven't set a time yet. McGillivray is the other one. So Herbert is going to rectify that. Let's see what time he can put down. 1:59.7 is the fastest. He goes a 2:02. So good enough for P11 at the moment. Molly Masterson. McGillivray, he's invalidated this lap, so he will not set a time on this trip around. Here's Steele, so he's 3/10 up on his best time. Track is now gone to optimum, so it was fast earlier on. That is now optimum conditions, 25 degrees air and track temperature. Looks like it's a pretty strong wind. 7 kilometres, gusting around a bit at the moment. So it may breed some weather for the race. We'll have to wait and see. We're halfway through qualifying though. It's Jack Steele setting the pace at 1:59.7. He's almost 2.5 tenths up on his best time at the moment. Vinny Canero up there in the Nissan, sitting in second. Then it's James Pierre Reid in third. Ricker and Hignett, pair of Ferraris in 4th and 5th. Mitch Hayes leading the silver class again in 6th. Parker, Frost, Hurley and Hildebrandt. As Steele heading towards the line now, almost 3/10 up on his best time. Is over half a second clear of Canero. Make that 8/10. Jack Steele absolutely on fire at the moment. What about this man here, Mitch Hayes? He's going to be the next one across the line at the moment. That's Frost in the foreground. He doesn't improve his time. Hayes goes up into P2. Still 7.5 tenths off Steele. That Ferrari's been super fast. Ricker moves up into P2 now as well. Pierre Reid, who was sitting in the top 3 only moments ago, has been dropped down to P6. He's 8.5 tenths off the pace. He's almost 1.5 tenths up on his best time at the moment. That moves him back up into P3 where he was earlier on. Here comes Herbert with 6 minutes left. Down there in P11. He's not going to improve his time enough, so he'll remain there for the time being. And there's Frost out there at the moment, so 14 runners still. It's Frost in P8, but Jack Steele leading the way at 1:59.492. Matt Ricker 59.777. So almost 3/10 the difference between Steele and Ricker. That's about 4/10 between Ricker and Reid. And then it's pretty close amongst Reid, Hignett and Hayes, as well as Canero. Canero's not too far away either. So Sort of from about 3rd through to 6th is relatively close. But the top 3, there's sort of a good 3/10 gap between each car at the moment. As we're watching Frost making his way down the back straight. He's down on his best time right now. So P8 needs to get, needs to make up a couple of tenths here to try and get past Parker in the McLaren. The high silver driver right now is Mick Hayes. So he's already taken out 2 class victories for the season. Paul Russell is sitting on 3. Hayes making 3. Paul Russell not racing this evening. I think there's some LMU duty going on at the moment. Here is Mark Hurley. So he is not going to improve his time at the moment. What about Heather? Yeah, no Paul tonight, Heather. I'm not too sure what's happening. Yeah, it's, I think he was doing an LMU race with someone earlier this evening, from what I could tell of the chat, and I don't think he was particularly fond of this circuit either, so perhaps that didn't go as well as he'd hoped, or maybe better than he did, and he's celebrating. Nando Latento's teammate. There you go, he and Nando. Off doing other racing. Bit of talk about LMU as well yesterday in the Discord. Becoming more and more popular. Here's Neil Fakeney. He moves up into P13. That's Ricker got at the moment. So Steele's on a warm-up lap. So was Reed. So is Hignet. Ricker is dead even for his best time right now. Across to Hurley, because he is 3/10 up on his best time. So 2:01.5, less than 3 minutes remaining. It's still Jack Steele, car 996 out in front at the moment. Ricker, Reed, Hignet and Hayes are all chasing, as is this man here. Looking to improve his time. He's almost 2.5 tenths up on his best. That's not going to be enough to move up, so he'll remain in P9 for now as he comes across the line. Yeah, P9 is the best he can manage at this stage. What about Aaron Parker? Let's see what he's got this evening. He's sitting there in 7th right now. 8.5 tenths adrift of P1. Can he improve his time? He does. He goes up into P3. So nice work there. At the late stages of this session, Parker moves up into P3. Still almost 6.5 tenths off. Jack Steele is absolutely flying. Neil Fakeney is currently in 14th position. He's half a second up on his best time. Should get him up a couple of spots. Let's see where he shakes out in the end. 13th position is all he can manage at the moment, with under a minute and a half left. Here's Jack Steele. He's our pole position sitter right now. Almost 3/10 is the gap between he and the closest car, which is Max Ricker. So last time out, Jack Steele ended up finishing P6. Donington Park, so he'll be looking to make up for that. Sitting second in the championship right now. There you go, rain and fire. I was nowhere near the pace. I near that pace in practice. Yeah, it's pretty rapid pace though, so you know, don't have to always be the fastest. A lot of it's just about enjoying yourself. So his Steele is invalidated his lap, so that is it for him. He will not be improving. Ricker and Parker are both out there. So is Mitch Hayes. Here he comes. So it'll be Hayes, then Rickard, then Parker. There you go. You can see them behind. There you go. They're all close to one another. So Hayes is not going to improve his time. Let's see where Rickard comes out. He's not going to improve his time. Parker, though, is going to improve his time. He goes up into P2. Only 1.5 tenths the difference between he and Jack Steele. So we've gone 000. So these will be the final flying laps, but it's going to be Jack Steele who will sit on pole position. He will go unchallenged. So a good time from him. What about for silver? It's going to be M. Hayes again. And then for the AM, it's going to be Wally Masterson, because there's only one AM driver out there. So he's got, he just needs to finish to wrap up the class victory. And Benjamin Hignett goes up into P4 in the dying stages of this qualifying session. Here's Herpetron. He's one of a couple of cars still out on the circuit. 4 tenths up on his best time, so this is going to affect the starting grid. Let's see if he can hold on to that all the way to the end. I think he can. He does. And he goes up into P10. Nice work, Herbie. The 512 in 10th position. But it is Jack Steele, who is the man of steel, faster than a speeding bullet. He is on pole position. Congratulations to him. Mitch Hayes, he takes it out for silver class, and Wally Masterson as well. Will that affect the championship? 36 points the difference between P1 and P3, where Wally Masterson is, and Bridgens and Taylor aren't racing tonight. So it might make things a little bit interesting in terms of the AM class. But that is qualifying all done. Just wait for the timer to start, and we will be not too far away from beginning round number 7. And if the last 6 races are anything to go by, this should be an absolute cracker. So a bit light on for numbers. Poor Russell. I don't know where he is. Anyway, we'll wait for this timer to start. Will we get rain as well? That's going to be the other interesting thing. Let's see how we go. Just waiting. And once we get the timer, we'll get an idea. Should come sometime. Doesn't matter. I'll be back in, I don't know, roughly a minute or two. We'll be back soon. All right, we're back. Here we go. So, oh, wrong one. Let's give this another go. There we go. So, 40 odd seconds before we start, and we've got a straggler. So Paul Russell has joined us. There he is, just at the back of the field. So he's missed qualifying, but he is here for the race. So that brings the field up to 15, which is quite nice. And we'll wait to get this one started. No rain, 8:03 p.m. So it's only going to get darker and darker. The wind is at 8 kilometres though, so maybe we will see some weather, perhaps. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see as they're all pulling away now from the line. Here they go. And, yeah, we're going to get a bit of night racing action, which is good. Chris Hildebrand, didn't see him much in quali, so down there in P12. Well, let's have a look at the grid. So it was Jack Steele. It's P2 in the championship, only 4 points behind Benjamin Hignett. He was a class of his own in qualifying. Can he convert it into a good race start? We will wait and see. Sitting in second is Aaron Parker. So he took that P2 very, very late in qualifying. So he's sitting there in second position right now. Max Ricker, he's going to begin the race from P3. That's where he ended the last race a couple of weeks ago. So we'll see what sort of progress he can make through the field tonight. Benjamin Hignett, championship leader, defending champion as well. He's sitting there in fourth position in car number 1. In fifth position, it's James Pierre Reid, who's made a better start than what he did in the last race. So sitting there in P5 right now. Sixth, swapping positions. Sixth position and highest of the silver class runners, that is Mitch Hayes in car number 45. Vinny Canero, he will begin the race in the Nissan, the Sol Nissan in the field. He's going to start from 7th position. 8th position in the 666 Mercedes, that is Matt Frost. Sitting behind him in 9th in the Pennzoil liveried Ferrari is Mark Hurley. Robin Herbert, he snuck into the top 10 in the dying stages of qualifying at the weekend in the race. 11th in car number 111. It's all the ones. Here's Chris Hildebrand. Brett McGillivray, he'll begin the race in car number 24 from 12th position. Neil Fakeney in the number 9. He'll begin the race from 13th. 14th will be Wally Masterson. Paul Russell, as mentioned, he skipped qualifying. He's going to start the race from P15, and Nando Latenzio in the pits there at the moment. He'll begin from 16th position. So that is the grid. So a little bit light on from what we normally expect, but it's quality, not quantity. And I'm still expecting an entertaining evening, both figuratively and literally. 23 degrees air and track temperature. Gotten a little bit windier. 9 kilometres now. Was it 8 kilometres earlier on? We've got, the forecast is for it to remain clear for at least the next half an hour, but we will wait to see if that forecast does change. They're all side by side now. Make their way through the triangle, and then we will go racing not long after that. Here we go. It's a nice sight, isn't it? Lights ablaze. And very shortly. Lights are red. They're not too far away from going green. Round number 7. It begins right now. It looks like Steele got a pretty good jump. So did Parker. Parker's going to go with him. Pierre Reid got a nice start through there, as well as it's going to be Steele who'll lead them through the first couple of turns. Looks like everyone has made their way nice and safely. Looks like Ricker has managed to get past Parker. He gets a little bit of contact. He goes around. He's going to... I think he's gone into the wall there. Let's go back to the replay here. Let's see what happened. We're on board with him. Drifts out a little wide. Then it's going to be Ricker going side by side with him. He just went up the inside. Just a little bit of contact. And that is where he has ended up, unfortunately. So, worst possible case for Aaron Parker down there in P15 now on the first lap. So that is definitely not how he envisioned this one going. So it's Max Ricker moved up into second, Hignett in third, Pierre Reid, Hayes, Canero, Frost, Hurley, Herbert, Hildebrandt. That's your top 10 right now. Looks like everyone in the rest of the field managed to get away nicely. And that's Paul Russell, already made a couple of spots up there into P14. Here comes, we're looking at Hignett right now. He's all over the back of Ricker, who is not our race leader. That's Jack Steele. So to give you a bit of an idea, that's how much of a gap he's already put on them. 2.5 seconds for our race leader, our pole position sitter. So he is trying to check out as soon as he can. In the meantime, though, it's going to be Max Ricker who has to defend second place from Benjamin Hignett. It's a trio of Ferraris in the top 3 right now. Steele, Ricker and Hignett. Another Italian manufacturer, the Lamborghini, there in 4th position of James Pierre Reid. As they come around the final corner for the first time this evening, we're looking back from Ricker's Ferrari. Looks like Hayes was making a bit of a move, going 2 wide down the front straight, almost 3 wide there for a moment. It's going to be Pierre Reid with the big lunge around the outside. Pierre Reid hanging it all out. Mitch Hayes might be able to take advantage of this. Let's just go back to that and see how this all played out. So here's Pierre Reid, ducks out of the draft. Hignett is tucked in behind Ricker. And this is where Pierre Reid ended up. So we go back to live action. So James Pierre Reid settled there into 4th position. He gets past Hignett, so Hignett ran a little wide at Dunlop. And that's allowed Reid to move up into the podium position. So nice work there. Good start. Good strong start from James Pierre Reid. He now has Benjamin Hignett hunting him down. The gap is out to 3.4 seconds as Aaron Parker gets a move done on Paul Russell. So he's beginning his climb back up the field. Currently down there in 14th, 4 seconds off Wally Masterson. At the moment, we saw a yellow flag there for just a second, but doesn't look like it's anything serious. But Jack Steele absolutely flying at the moment. 4.2 seconds is the gap between he and Max Ricker. Pierre Reid is the second between he and Ricker. In the meantime, we've got Hignett, Hayes, Canero and Frost all over the back of him. Vinny Canero pull out of the draft here. No, he won't. Go through the 130 as they make their way through the chicane. Let's see what the sort of lap times are early on. So 2 minute flat, 2 minute 5, a 2:02, 2:02. So Jack Steele almost 2 seconds faster, 1.5 seconds faster on that previous lap between he and Max Ricker. So he's absolutely flying at the moment. Someone else is going alright is Mitch Hayes. He's hunting down Hignett, who's hunting down Pierre Reid. And he's just losing a little bit of ground now to Max Ricker. This is going to be important for Benjamin Hignett if he wants to
challenge for a victory tonight. He's going to have to get his way past Pierre Reid. No way, shape or form needs to give him up the position. They're going to race as hard as they can. Ricker, 4.5 seconds. Jumped up to 5 seconds there, the gap between Steele and Ricker. Jack Steele just in another dimension at the moment. Meanwhile, this is the angry pack charging after. Hayes is one of those cars. Here's Hignett. Just stabilising the gap now. Ricker over Reid. And it's half a second between Reid and Hignett right now. You can see that on the screen. The gap is now at 5 seconds between Steele and Ricker at the moment. So Steele flying out in front. Will we see track limit violations come into play? I'm seeing a bit of red on my screen indicating this is Hignett making a very, very early stop. He has no penalty next to his name. I didn't necessarily check the pit settings for this evening. I wonder if it's I have no idea what that's about. Here are the season intro. Idea what that's about. So Hignett's still in there though. Here's Herb's run. Just there's that. Let's see if I can championships. Pierre Reid, 1.1 seconds the gap between he and Ricker, 1.6 to Hayes, 5.5 seconds between Steele and Ricker at the moment. So they've all kind of given each other the slip in the other stages of this. They're all sort of 1 to 1.5 second gaps between Reid, Hayes and Kinnear. Closest battle in the top 6 is Kinnear versus Frost. Track still at optimum, so 23 degrees air and track temperature. Wind is still at 9 kilometres. So keep an eye on that as we're going. This is Parker, so he's looking to move his way back up through the field. Currently sitting in P13. Will we be able to say P12? Yes, we can. Go. So Parker moves up into P9. He's beginning his recovery drive. Hignett is out of the pits. He was in there for a total of 1 minute and 6 seconds, stationary for 34. So I'm still just trying to locate what the pit window. Length 1 second. Driver's stop count 1. Here's Pierre Reid and Ricker. Alright, mandatory pit stop refueling? No. Mandatory pit stop tire change required? Yes. Mandatory pit stop driver stop. Okay, cool. So there's just a mandatory tire stop. I wonder. I reckon that's Hignett. He's the tyre whisperer. just going all out and saying, I'm going to pick nice and early, get my tyres. That makes sense though. He was right up there. I have no idea. That doesn't quite compute with me. I'm a simple person though, so because if he was in there for a minute 6, the gap to the leaders at a minute 15, and would put him in like 4th at best, which is roughly where he pitted from. So he's going to work his way through traffic. There's only 15 cars. I don't know. Here's a guy who's working his way through traffic is Parker. That'll have repercussions for the championship as well, because Jack Steele's only 4 points behind Benjamin Hignett. So yeah, that would championship implications. Rick is up there as well. He's safe from Terry Rayton. Aaron Parker isn't exactly doing himself any favours this evening either with his championship aspirations too. So this will be a big swing towards Jack Steele. That's of course assuming that he will hang on and win this. There's still a long way to go. We're just coming up just past the 10-minute mark, so long way left in this one. We'll skip across to some other action. This is James Pierre Reid. He's got Rico just up ahead of him, 6/10. Hildebrand has managed to get past Herbert. Let's have a quick look here on the replay. Or it's run a little bit wide. He has. And Hildebrand has managed to keep a much tighter line through there. So Chris Hildebrand from 11th into 8th. So having a good start for him. Pierre Reid is the other one I want to keep an eye on. What about Parker? So he's getting the move done here on Neil Fakeney, going up the inside of the 130R. That's big time commitment and good racing between each other. And he gets it done, so he moves up into 11th position. He's on the charge. Pierre Reid just dropped back to 8/10, the difference between he and Max Ricker. Frost as well. So he's 4/10 down on Vinny Kinero. Last lap around, Frost was a 10th faster than Kinero. 6/10 the difference between those two at the moment. The man out in front though is Jack Steele. So the 996 last lap, 2:06.40, 3.5 faster than Max Ricker. The gap is at 7.5 seconds, so he is just absolutely demolishing them at the moment. He's flying. Frost in the Mercedes. He's got Kinero just up ahead of him. So everyone's moved up spots, bar Jack Steele. So he's where he started, P1. Ricker up 1, Reid, Hayes, Kinero, Frost, Hurley up 2 spots. Hildebrand up 3, Herbert up 1, McGillivray up 2, Parker down 9, Fakeney and Masterson both up a spot and hitting it down 10. The gap between him and Jack Steele right now a minute 15. So he's on pace right now to, if everyone was to pit, get up as high as about 5th at the moment. So not too sure what that strategy was. Frost and Kinero go at it. Here's Parker. Get the move done on McGillivray. They go into the Casio triangle. Parker last lap around 2:05. Gets the stream out of the BMW. He does. Uses that to his advantage and regains another spot. So moves up into P10 now. Back in the top 10. Is Frost and Kinnear still going at it, so a couple of tenths to the better was Matt Frost on that previous lap compared to Kinnear. As we are now just almost at the quarter-way mark, and it's Jack Steele with a 7.4 second gap between he and Max Ricker right now. Pierre Reid just about a second off. Here's Hildebrand. Gets a move done. Let's see what happened here. I think Hurley's done himself a mischief a bit. Let's see what happens here. They're going up through the S's. Oh, yeah, Hurley just out of Dunlop, I think. Yeah, it was. Just into Dunlop, sorry. And Chris Hildebrand into P7. Having a good race right now is Chris Hildebrand. He's third in silver class at the moment. 5.3 seconds off Matt Frost. Here's Parker. He's looking to gain another position. This time it's the 512 Ferrari. That's Robin Herbert. As they come out of Spoon Curve. So they've got Mark Hurley, who we were just looking at earlier, up ahead. So this is all for position. No lap traffic in here. As they go along the back straight. I think Frost has got Kinnear. Let's go have a look at the replay. They've just come out of the 130R, going into the triangle. Oh, Kinnear just ran a little bit deep there. That opened up the opportunity, and Frost is able to slip through, and he takes up P5. So nice work there from the 666 into the top 5. He's got one more spot to equal his best finishing position, and looks like Parker got past Herbert. Let's have a look at that on the replay. As we're going into turn 1 and 2, get down the inside, nicely done there from Parker, and he moves his McLaren up into P9, maybe for not too much longer. He's got Mark Hurley just ahead of him. Charge. He was almost 4 seconds faster on that previous lap. Oh, did he make contact? He does! Oh dear, it's all gone wrong. Let's go on board with the replay. So through Degner 1, now through Degner 2. Oh, and then Hurley just got a little bit wide there, ended up coming across. That's Parker redressing with Hurley by the looks of things. We're live images right now. There we go. And those two will continue on. Parker drops all the way down into P13. So back towards the bottom again. Sort of puts a bit of a dampener on his charge. Still got 41 and a bit minutes to go. So plenty of time, but any chance of a meaningful position tonight. Sort of, yeah, this is probably going to be one that he prefers to forget. I don't think he enjoys this circuit either. A lot of people don't, funnily enough. I absolutely love it. It's glorious. Sensational circuit. Here's Kinnear. So Ricker, just to update on what's going on at the front, 8.1 seconds. He was a couple of tenths faster on that previous trip around than Ricker. Last lap, Ricker was almost 6 tenths faster than James Pierre Reid. So Ricker's got some good pace, but can't quite keep up with Jack Steele, who just continues to extend that gap, now sitting at 8.5 seconds. The difference. As they're going out of Degner 2 under the bridge. As mentioned, it's a unique figure 8 layout. Goes back over itself. So Parker in the pits, Hurley in the pits, both the two protagonists that were caught up on that previous lap, both licking their wounds in the pits right now. So Hignett moves up into P12. He's still a minute 16 off the lead, so he's still on track for about 5th at the moment. But those tyres are going to be pretty second-hand at the end of the race. I know he's a tyre whisperer, but what have we got here? He's gone already almost 13 minutes on those tyres. Only 7 minutes younger than the rest of the cars out there that haven't pitted. Not too sure what's going on there. Still battling it out with Frost. McGillivray is the first couple of cars on track. Making his way up through the S's. First wheel blinking in the background. Field pretty well spread out. The gap is only continuing to widen at the front, so 9.4 seconds difference between Steele and Ricker. Reed is 1.1 seconds back. And the rest of the field quite strung out, being a smaller field, only 14. Slim pickings for the action. We've already gone through the risers and the fallers, and we've still got 38 minutes to go, so plenty of time left. Doesn't look like there's any weather on the way either, so track is at optimum, 23 degrees air and track temperature. Pierre Reed making up a little bit of ground on Ricker down the front straight. Last lap around, Ricker did a 2-minute 1.8. Reed with 2:01.4. Vinny Canero, he's in the pits. It'll be interesting to see how long his stop is actually. See him hit his marks. Downhill pit lane, a little bit bumpy, and he gets it all done. Yeah, it'd be very interesting because Hignett was a minute 6 in total, 34 seconds stop time. So he took tyres, which I think is mandatory. Yeah, I wonder if Hignett was just contrarian. Chad. Pit stop refueling. No. Mandatory pit stop tyre change required. Yes. How long has Vinny been in there now? He's in and out. So a minute 9 in total. So Hignett's was par. It was a par time. All right. I wonder if where is he on the track? He's just coming through Dunlop Curve now, so he's got no traffic in front of him, so he's just able to go out there, cut laps, run at his pace. What was his last lap time? 2:01.2. So that was significantly faster than Ricker. It was faster than Reed. It was faster than Hayes. So he's one of the fastest cars out there on track at the moment. He's 32 odd seconds off Wally Masterson, so he doesn't have any cars anywhere near him. He has the closest car behind him is 20 seconds. Benjamin Hignett going for like a, what do you call it? It's like a in-race test session. He's cutting laps by himself. McGillivray, he's taken Herbert because Herbert is in the pits. Caniro's got a stop-go penalty, 30 seconds. So that would have been speeding in the pit lane for him. So he's hit the accelerator a little bit too early, or didn't get on the brake pedal early enough when he came in. So here's Herbert making his stop. And there he goes. Boom. So Hignett will make up a spot here. So he'll move up into 10th. Here's Pierre Reid. Lap times on that last trip around, the gap's almost at 10 seconds. It is right now, 10.1 in fact. 2:01.8 Ricker's time, 2:01.2 with Steele. Steele just absolutely flying right now. Now that's a car behind. That's Parker. So that is not for position. It's Parker. He's down there in 13th spot right now. So this is not a fight for position between Reid and Parker in the black and pink McLaren as Reid makes his way into the pits. So this is a big stop. Get this right if he wants to finish on the podium. So there's a downhill slope in this pit box. Fairly decent angle too. Hildebrandt is another one coming into the box, so Pierre Reid nails his entry. Neil Fakeney moving up a couple of spots while some cars are in the pits. Oh my goodness, do we have rain? I thought I might have seen rain. I thought that I did. Maybe not. Maybe I'm seeing things. But it is clouding over. So the forecast has got... Oh, well, it wouldn't have sun, would it? Really? Wind at 9 kilometres. Alright, just false alarm. How long will Steele go? That is the question. Fake news, the other one out there. So Hildebrandt, he's made his stop. So he's in pit lane. Yeah, definitely no weather there. So false alarm, my apologies. Here comes Hignett. Good thing about night races, you see all the different lighting, and then you've got the red hot exhaust and brakes. So now he is Hignett. He is on the back of Reid, who's just fresh off making his stop. Here comes Ricker into the pits. Reid's stop was 1:04, so about the par time. Here comes Mitch Hayes into the pits. Here's Ricker. Makes his way into the box. He gets that done. Hayes needs to nail this as well. Always a little bit difficult when you've got a car in front. There we go. So back to Hignett. Last up around 2:01.4. Pretty handy time. He's the second fastest car. Third fastest car on that previous lap. Parker did a 2:01 flat. So he actually did a faster time than our race leader Jack Steele. So what a shame for him. He'll be kicking himself in that car. Thinking what could have been after starting from, what was it, P3 on the grid. P2 on the grid. No, it was P3, pretty sure. Posy was P3. Anyway, he's down there in P13, not where he envisioned being. Vinny Canero still needs to serve that stop-go penalty for 30 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. That'll put a big dent in his race. And here's Pierre Reid catching up to Ricker. So Ricker's just come out of the pits. And here comes Hignett now as well. So these three all close by. Oh, that's a big off there. That's that Dunlop curve from Hignett. Oh dear. Let's see what's happened. Was it out of... Yeah, it's up through the S's. And, oh, he's just got on the grass there. Off the curb. And whack, he goes. So, whatever the strategy was, we may never find out. He's dropped down there in P6. Oh, dear. That doesn't look good. Yeah, so that's not good for Hignett. He's got Mitch Hayes. This is for position. So Steele is in the pits as well. As I'll just keep it on these two as they head into Spoon Curve. And Mitch Hayes gets the job done, so he moves into P6 as you expect. That heavily damaged car of Benjamin Hignett. So we'll see if he comes into the pits this lap. You think that he will, but don't count your chickens until they hatch. How long was that pit stop? 1:04 to Jack Steele. Nice work. That's smooth as silk. And that was Ricker and Reid coming. Oh, see those things. See those things on the side. It does make it look like it's raining. That is what caught me out. That's why I thought it was raining. There we go. Cool night racing though. I'm digging it. It's a good scrap between Max Ricker and James Pierre Reid. Good to see James Pierre Reid up there in the podium positions having a crack after his last outing. I think he is a fan of Suzuka as well, so not terribly surprising to see him up this high. Here is Neil Fakeney coming out of the pits, and he will rejoin the race in P10. It's a bit sad. We'll never find out what the Hignett strategy was, and he has stayed out by the looks of things. So he's come out of the pit. Despite that big hit into the wall, he has continued on. So he has not pitted. Maybe it could have worked, you know. Has Hayes made a stop yet? Only one who hasn't made a stop is Frost. What's happened to Hildebrandt? Oh no, is that at Dunlop as well? Oh, it's at the top of the curves. Oh, that's where Thingo went off as well. That was where Hignett went off. Oh my goodness gracious, look at that. That is very, very close shave. As we go back to live images, Hildebrandt down there in P10. Back to the battle for P3rd and 4th. It's still Max Ricker holding off James Pierre Reid. So they're having a good battle, these two right now. Last lap around, Max Ricker. See on the right hand side of the screen, see on the far right, if you those fences make it look like there's rainfall. What do we got? So Max Ricker, 2:05, 2:07. A couple of tenths in it. Ricker was faster on that previous lap. Pierre Reid in that Lamborghini. Not going to give up the chase here. Note from the Lamborghini engine. There's Pierre Reid giving chase to Ricker. Frost is in the pits as well. Let's see, can he get a bit of a tow? What are the top speeds? Reed's got a 3 kilometre advantage. So 258 to Ricker, 261 to Reed. Interesting. Getting very agricultural over those curbs through the Casio Triangle. So Jack Steele will re-inherit the lead, where he has been for the majority of the evening. Pierre Reid and Ricker slipped through. Much longer in the pits. Will Hayes get Frost? He does. What about Hignett? That is coming out of the pits now. There goes Hignett. So Matt Frost, currently P5 at the moment. Where would that rate for his best finishes? Almost his best. P4 is his best. And I think he won the silver class race that time around. He is 6.5 seconds off Mitch Hayes at the moment. So he's got a bit of work to do, does Matt Frost, if he wants to take out the silver class victory. But in the meantime, we've got a great battle going on right now between Max Ricker, one of our former champions, and James Pierre Reid right now. This is for second and third. Jack Steele is 11.5 seconds up the road right now. Oh my goodness, his last lap he did was a 1:59.7 compared to a 2-minute 2 minutes point, 2-minute point 3. Meaning to say that. So 6/10 the difference between Ricker and Steele on that previous lap. And you can't really say it's a Ferrari thing, because Ricker's in a Ferrari as well, and there's no other Ferraris doing 59s. It's the only car that's dropped into the 59 so far. Closest that comes to it is Ricker. And Reid as well, he did a 2-minute 4. They head across the line. Ricker drops into the 59, so 59.837, so 1 and a bit tenths behind Jack Steele's previous lap. Steele though still 11.5 seconds the difference between he and P2. So he's just cruising at the moment, figuratively, not literally, because he's pumping in times. Here's Vinny Canero. He gets past Mark Early. Where was that out of? That was at the hairpin. Let's have a look how that came about through Degner 2. Hurley's already had a bit of an issue through Degner 2, and he just scrapes past him, does Canero, and pulls it up just in time for the hairpin. Now in P13. So after having to serve that stop-go penalty, that's put a big dent in his race, as we're not too far away from 2/3 race distance completed. And it's Jack Steele in firm control of this one. Almost 12 seconds. 12 seconds on the button now is the difference between he and Max Ricker in P2. Good battle going on right now between Robin Herbert and Brett McGillivray. Down in 7th and 8th. Hignett, what's happened to Frosty? Oh no! Is it technical issues? Oh no, Matt Frost, what's happened? And this is going to be... Oh... I have no idea. Wonder if he's got like stuck pedals or something. stuck in third gear, maybe? Can't get out of third gear. Yeah, that is not good. Matt Frost. Well, that is quite disappointing for him as well, because he was second in the Silver Class Championship. Paul Russell, who was in here for a cup of coffee, he's out. So this was Matt Frost's big chance to make up big ground on Russell this evening, but that doesn't look like happening. And now it's going to be Mitch Hayes is in the box seat here for this silver. Oh, he's still there. Let's go on board with him. Still in third gear. Yep, still in third. So it looks like steering wheel works, but pedals don't. Or perhaps the gears on there. Oh man, I know he runs in a VR headset as well, so that has got to be quite annoying for him. And disappointing at the same time. We've got 19 minutes left, so 41 is already passed. Here's Aaron Parker. He sort of yo-yoed up through the field, started second row of the grid, dropped all the way back down, got up to about 10th or 9th, and had that issue with, was it Hurley? Yep. He came together with Ricker early on in the race on lap 1 through like turn 3 or whatever it was. And then he's been chasing his tail ever since. He gets that move done on Wally Masterson, our AM class leader. We'll give Wally Masterson's championship aspirations a little bit of a boost as well. Matt Frost, he's gotten going again, everyone. Look at that. Well done, Frosty. There you go. A classic case of persistence overcomes resistance. And 666 in full throat there. He's back. Down there in P13, unfortunately for him. He was having a good run. But important to accumulate as many points as he can in the next 18 minutes, so as he can make a bit of a dent in Paul Russell's championship lead right now for the Silver Class, with only 2 rounds remaining after this one. Where are we off to? I think Red Bull Ring is one of them. Can't remember the other one. We'll find out at the end of the race. How was everyone's weekend as well? Did we all have a good weekend? Things are starting to get back towards full swing. F1's back in Japan this week after a little break. Triple header. Start off with a double header, then a week. Oh, McGillivray! He just lost the back end through there, didn't he? Let's go on board with him here. So he's got Herbie just up ahead. Come out of the right-hander, is he just... Well, it's a front engine car. Oh, just on the... Yeah. So it wasn't on that going left, he was going right, and then just maybe overcorrected, maybe, I'm not too sure. But anyway, finds himself down in P8. So he's got Hildebrand behind him now in the angry Porsche. Let's listen to it. Down there in 8th and 9th right now. Gap between Ricker and Reed has just opened up a bit as well, so 1.6 seconds the difference. Hayes is 14.7 seconds away from Reed. He was 0.2 slower on that previous lap, so he's not really going to make any major ground. making any major ground at this stage. Herbert in silver class, so he's 31 seconds behind. So that's a fair way behind Hayes. So Reed and Ricker is the only one that's kind of really undecided at this stage. We're watching Reed, so that's Frost in the foreground. Here's Parker, so he's trying to get as high as he can possibly be in this race. So currently P9, he's got Hildebrand just ahead of him. Chris Hildebrand having a good race, started in 11th, currently occupying P9. He's a real trier, isn't he, Chris Hildebrand? Like, you kind of know what you're going to get out of him. He generally runs a pretty steady race. He makes the odd mistake here and there like we all do. But you know what? Generally, he keeps it pretty clean. He just runs his own race. He's nice and steady. He's pretty reliable, is the old triple one. For some reason, I miss him all the time in qualifying, and then I get to the race time and it's like, oh, there's Chris Hildebrand. He's a bit unassuming like that. It's hard to miss though with that livery. But yeah, he's going good. You kind of, you know what you're going to get with Chris Hildebrand in the Porsche. Where is he in the championship? He's 6th in silver class. I don't know if he's raced every race, but yeah, he's doing well. Triple one. 13 minutes to go now. So who's that up ahead? Is that McGillivray? I think it is. Yeah, it is. There we go. So he's there, and here comes Parker and Hildebrand. This is all for position as well. Hildy making a ground on McGillivray. As they come through the spoon curve, it's shadowed on the fence there as well. That was cool. One of the sights and sounds of night racing. Definitely no rain forecast for the remaining 11 and 3/4 minutes, by the looks of things anyway. Make their way down the front straight. Hildebrand's going to have one eye forward, one eye in the rear view mirror. You can see the McLaren looming quite large in the rear view mirror there. There he is. And McGillivray is going to have a similar view as well. Oh no, Hildebrand just got it a little bit untidy there through the first part of the S's, and he loses the spot to Parker, who heads on through. They make their way through Dunlop. That's McGillivray going off there as well. So in the end, it sort of cancels everything out. And here we go. So you can see Hildebrand just going a little wide through there. There we go. So he loses that spot. And then McGillivray, oh, we've seen two cars already go off there. And he's back on deck. That was out through Dunlop. And there we are, back to live images. So McGillivray down there in P10. Where is he in the championship? Silver class 8th, 131 points. There you go. Here's Robin Herbert, so he's got Hignett just up ahead of him. So Benjamin Hignett, who didn't repair that damage, that has affected his lap times. He's still up there in P5 though, so that's a phenomenal effort from him. This would be a good little battle then. Runs quite wide at the 130R. That's going to give the run to Herbert, who gets that done relatively easily in the end. And he takes that position away from that heavily wounded Ferrari, the number 1. And relegates Benjamin Hignett into P6. 5th or 6th, I don't know, could he finish on the podium tonight? Not sure. That strange, very, very, very early pit stop. Not too sure about that. That's McGillivray going into the pits, making his stop. So Pierre Reid, 2.3, 2.4 seconds behind Max Ricker. Max Ricker did a 2 minute 5, 2 minute 6 to Reid, 2 minute 3 to Jack Steele. So all within sort of a couple of tenths of each other on those previous laps was the top 3. Here's Fakeney. Looks like he got the move done on Benjamin Hignett. Let's go back to the replay and have a look. That's just through Dunlop and pretty easy pickings there. Hignett's tyres are very old, so they're 44 minutes old in fact, so even the tyre whisperer isn't that good. Frost looks like we've lost one. De Niro, not too sure, down to 14. Russell and Latenzio, I think, is the other one. He was in here for like 3 seconds. Here's Neil Fakeney, so he's 1.4 seconds behind Herman. He was 7/10 faster on that previous lap as well. So less than 8 minutes remaining in this one. Head down the front straight, go aboard with the Aston Martin. And it's still been relatively entertaining, hasn't it? With the despite the smaller grid size, it's still been relatively entertaining. Not too bad. Can Fakeney get a top 5 position? Geez, this would be a good finishing position for him as well. As I said earlier in the pre-race, he's had a very un-Neil Fakeney-like season. So he's had a couple of DNFs and he had to stop one time because he was feeling ill. And yeah, so good to see him up the pointy end of the field. What's happened to Chris Hildebrandt? What happened? Oh, he's just... save. As I said, he makes the odd mistake or two, does Chris Hildebrandt, but he keeps on trucking. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Oh, jeez. And that's a mistake as well. What's going on here? He's out. He's done. He's gone. Decided to call it quits with 6 minutes remaining. Vinny Canero. He's not calling it quits anytime soon. Oh, here we go. Fakeney. This is the battle we want to see. Can he get top 5? So he makes his way out of the triangle through the final turn. 5.5 minutes remaining. last lap, he was a couple of tenths faster. The gap is at a second. Go on board, big, loud, muscly sounding Aston Martin. 5 minutes from now. Wind has only gotten stronger, 10 kilometres now. Started off about 7 or 8. It's only gotten stronger throughout. Degner 1, Degner 2, named after a motorcyclist that lost his life through there in the early days of the circuit. Very well renowned for motorcycles racing at this track as well. But yeah, he had the surname Degner. They named Degner 1, Degner 2 after him. So they're making their way towards Spoon. Speed's 259 compared to 260. So advantage Herbert in the Ferrari. Runs a little bit wide there through the 130R. Looks like Parker has got past Hignett as well. So he's up into P7 now. Back to this battle for P5. Listen to that note. The gap is a whopping 15.5 seconds, the difference between P1 and P2. This is as dominating win as I've seen in a little while, at least this season anyway. After the excitement that was last round. Reed still hovering around 2 seconds the difference between he and Max Ricker. And then 15 seconds the difference between Reed and Hayes. So just need to bring it home now, do the top 3. Don't really need to push at this stage. Fakeney though, on the other hand, is on the full charge as he's hunting down the Ferrari of Robin Herbert. He'll want to hang on to his top 5 position as well. He won't want to let it go. He's only got to hold on for, he's just starting the lap, so another couple of laps is all we'll have left. Next time Steele goes over the line, so he's crossed the line 20 odd seconds ago. So a minute 40 more. We'll have about 30 seconds left on the clock, so we're going to run it pretty close to spot on the 60 minutes. So Neil Fakeney will have we'll have 2 more laps after this one to get the job done. Head up the back straight again. Seems like it's sort of maxed out how close he can get at this stage. Downshifts, hard braking area. So he couldn't make up any ground down the front straight on that time. Reed closing the gap up to a second between he and Ricker. So not too sure if Max has made a little mistake somewhere along the lines, but it was sitting at about 2 seconds. So he's half the gap. That's Frost in the background in the 666.
Right, man. Bonito's on the final lap. Give me the final push.
There we go. That is the signal. Final lap has commenced. Yeah, not too sure what happened to Fakeney. Oh, sorry, not Fakeney. Ricker. But nonetheless, Here we go. We're back to the battle between the number 9 and the 512. Reed continues to just chip away. 9/10. Ricker maybe having to go in fuel saving mode as he miscalculated the fuel perhaps. I don't think you can really see anything on the dash. That's the traction control. Yeah, not too sure. I saw a number 6. I thought, is that fuel map 6? But doesn't look like it. So Jack Steele has already won 2 races for the season. And he is about 30 odd seconds away from taking his 3rd victory of the season. And he will take the championship lead as well. Big congratulations goes this man. He's been absolutely dominant. He's been in a class of his own today. He put it on pole position and then he drove away from the pack. I think the gap was about 2.5 seconds. It's at 17.2. Congratulations, Jack Steele. 3rd win of the season. He wins round number 7. Congratulations, the 996. He has been utterly dominant today. Congratulations. A very well earned victory, and we will find out if it was as easy as it looked from the outside on the inside. Max Ricker comes home in P2. Congratulations, Max Ricker. Well deserved. James Pierre Reed. He takes the final podium position. Well done to him. Here comes Mitch Hayes. He is going to come home, take P4, and he leads the silver class. So congratulations to him. He was the highest silver class runner in qualifying, and he has come across the line first in silver class as well. Here's Herbert. So he was being hounded by Fakeney, who is now being hounded by Parker. So Parker, he has been on the yo-yo string in this race, and he's trying to snag one more position before this race is over. So that's news. It's good news for Herbert. He's not going to be hounded. So he's coming through the chicane now, and Parker running out of chances here to steal one more place away. So congratulations, Herbie. He's going to come across the line. He'll take P5. Can Neil Fakeney hold on for P6? It's going to be pretty tight. Does he get there? He does. Yes, Neil Fakeney just gets it. Aaron Parker comes home in P7. Here comes Andrew Hignett in P number 8. Congratulations to him. Here's Wally Masterson. He is going to win the AM class. So he's the only runner, but he had to finish, and he did. And he finishes P9. A good result for him. Well done. He's going to go fourth and 10th. There we go. Here comes Vinny Canero, P10, Frost and Hurley, the final runner. But it was Jack Steele. Congratulations to him. He has taken out the victory. It was started in P1, and that is where he finished. He was pretty much unchallenged the majority of the way. Let us get out of here. All right. Yep. And then we will do some post-race interviews, and then we will wrap this up. Where are we? Where's the green room? Here it is. Oh, he's already in here. Jack Steele, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you
Mate,
going?
you are so quick that you beat me to the comms room tonight, the green room. Massive congratulations. You absolutely destroyed them in qualifying. And then by the end of the first lap, you were about 3 seconds ahead of your nearest rival, which was Max Ricker. It looked absolutely easy from the outside. Was it as easy as it looked?
No, I mean, I put a lot of practice into this one.
Yep.
And I was pretty happy with the quali lap. Don't know, absolutely destroyed him. It's the right word. I think Park was only a tenth off and Max was 2 tenths behind. And on this track, I mean, it's so easy to to gain or lose like half a second. So
Mm.
2/10 wasn't super comfortable, but yeah, start of the race I just put the hammer down and tried to build a gap, and that yeah, left me pretty comfortable for the rest of the race.
Yeah, it looked pretty straightforward from the outside. And how was the tyres? Because I think you pitted around about 25-minute mark, maybe half an hour. Was it?
Yeah, it's about halfway, I think.
Yeah, was it pretty good tonight?
It was all right. I think I grained the fronts, pushing pretty hard pretty early,
Yep.
and so I started to get some pretty bad understeer, but you can drive around it a little bit.
Yep.
And then yeah, just thought, I've got the lead, and I can yeah, just afford to pit halfway with 30 minutes of tyres, and
Yep.
took it a bit easier the second stint to ease the tyres in, and yeah, they were good till the end.
And was it? How do you keep your concentration up? Like it can be a little bit when you're in that scenario where you're not being, immediately challenged. You got a really healthy gap. Sometimes the biggest rival can be yourself. So how did you sort of keep that concentration level, not to make a mistake and throw it away?
To be honest, I did in about 10 minutes in. I noticed I did have a complete lack of concentration.
Yeah.
Just started having like laps that are a second slower, just lots of sloppy mistakes, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't pushing too hard, but I thought, I really got to concentrate here. Because you're right, yeah, 50 minutes into the race, there's no one breathing down my neck. It's easy just to get into a bit of a lull.
Yeah.
And the next minute you're in the wall.
Yeah, the mind can wander, and then you like you said, the next second you're out. Well, mate, fantastic. That's your third victory of the season. Now, Hignett didn't have a good race tonight, so he pitted really super early, like within the first like 10 to 12 minutes he pitted, and I thought he was going to go for go out there racing clear air, and then he got caught up in a couple of issues, and he ended up finishing around about sixth or seventh, I think he was. So you're going to be our new championship leader, and we are going to the next round, which is going to be Red Bull Ring, and then Coda after that. How do you feel about those two circuits?
Not my favourite. I think I'm okay at Red Bull Ring. I'm terrible at Coda. I'll have to get some practice in for that. But I've had three crashes in the last 3 races, so it was good to get a nice clean one under my belt, and get a bit of confidence back for Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, well, mate, congratulations. It was a dominating display tonight. Well deserved. And we'll see how we go in next week's race at Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, mate. Have a good night.
You too. See ya.
All right, so that is Jack Steele. Wally is already out of here. Whoops, hang on. Let me see if I can get Mitch Hayes in here, eh? To do an interview. All right, we'll wait for Mitch Hayes. But as mentioned, Red Bull Ring and then Coda to finish off the season. They just had the MotoGP around Coda. It looked very exciting. It was a wet, dry race. So I need I'm pretty sick at the moment. All good. All good. All good. All right, beautiful. That's everyone. Wally's gone. Mitch Hayes is feeling quite ill. So that looks like the post-race interviews are all done. And that pretty much wraps things up. So thanks for watching, everyone. That is round number 7 done. And we're off to do it again, round number 8 next week at the Red Bull Ring. Another 60-minute race before we finish it off with 100 minutes around Coda. I hope you all enjoy your weekend. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the week and look forward to seeing you all next Monday. My name is Nick. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.